To present this year's award, it is truly a pleasure and an honor to introduce one of the funniest people ever invented, a strange man, the Minister of Strange, Mr. John Cleese.
Good evening. I am delighted to be here to pay homage to a chap who has been very close to me and my family for many decades. Throughout the years, we have worked together, laughed together, and broken bread together. I am honored to be able to call him friend, Mr. Frank Ounce. Oz. Sorry. Oz. Definitely. Frank Oz is an extremely deserving recipient of this Creative Achievement Award. What is the Creative Achievement Award? It is the award given to someone who has demonstrated multiple talents in the art of making people laugh. Some are writers, some are performers, some are directors, and some are producers. Frank Oz is none of these, but he was born in England, and that's good enough for me. For England has always been superior to America in so many ways. The first, perhaps the most obvious, is that we speak English. Secondly, when we organize a World Series, we invite other nations to participate. Thirdly, and perhaps most important, is the fact that British subjects, when meeting with the leader of our country, have to go down on only one knee. So it is truly my pleasure to honor my compatriot and dear fiend, Frank Oz. In 1944, Frank was born in Hereford, England, which explains his love for bangers and mash, fish and chips, and bubbles and squeak.
Big Dipper? Oh, the wallet from the drippings can.
'Cause I'm a woman.
W-O-M-A-N. Like to say it again. 'Cause I'm a woman. All right, get her out of here.
Frank brought his parents to the United States when he was 6, shortly before he lost his hair. Knowing that he was in the land of opportunity, Frank decided to do what any little boy his age would do, become a puppeteer.
Well, as a child, I remember doing my first show when I was about 11 years old for about $25 in front of a supermarket.
It was at 17 that Frank was spotted by the late, great Jim Henson. Jim's wild and creative mind quickly identified a soulmate, and Frank immediately became his right-hand man.
And we have here a Southern Colonel type character. He's a two-person puppet. And in this one, I'm working the left hand and the head.
And I'm working the right hand.
Here's that sound.
That's right.
I've never really figured that out before. Son of a gun.
As the Muppets, or stuffed little furry bits, as I like to call them, jumped from their historic children's show Sesame Street to prime time and the big screen, Frank was able to create more and more characters with more and more rear ends simply begging for his hand.
Shut up!
The biggest, of course, being that which belonged to Miss Piggy. But the Cookie Monster, Bert, Grover, and, without question, Animal, were the favorites of those of us who don't like pork.
Animal!
Frank had always wanted to become an actor so that he could learn what it was like to be tormented by a director. He was cast in one of the biggest movies of all time, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Frank's character, Yoda, was loved around the world, and personally, I thought he never looked better.
You seek Yoda. You know him? Take it to him, baby.
Pursuing his desire to be in front of the camera, Frank began acting and testing a wide range of character roles. He played a balding, sneering cop in Blues Brothers. Then he experimented by playing a balding, sneering coroner in Innocent Blood. And leave it to Frank to jump without a net when he tackled the role of a balding, sneering policeman in Trading Places. Moving on, Frank decided to direct, thank God.
You'll be a dentist. You have a talent for causing things. So be a dentist. People will pay you to be inhumane. Your temperament's wrong for the priesthood, and teaching would suit you still less. So be a dentist. You'll be a success.
Frank's personal and professional relationship with Steve Martin continued in the film Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Steve had these brilliant ideas. When we got to it, it was great. He came up to me off camera once and said, I did this thing in my nightclub act. Do you think you like it? And it was hysterical. I said, and that kicked everything off. And then we started to have much more fun with the piece. And that's where Steve gets all these great ideas, and I get some credit, see?
Eat your food. Excuse me. May I go to the bathroom first?
Of course you may.
Thank you.
I don't just shoot something and that's it. I kind of play around. I ask the actors, what do they think, and go back and forth. So it's just give and take and collaboration. I love collaborating with people, as long as they do exactly what I say.
Frank and Steve teamed up for a third time with Goldie Hawn in the film House Sitter, until Steve found out that the other actors got paid. So Frank moved on to Bill Murray in What About Bob?
I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel good. Still great. I feel wonderful. I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel good.
And having already magically portrayed the story of an Indian coming out of the cupboard, it seemed only fitting that Frank would tackle the story of an Indianan coming out of the closet.
Welcome to our series on exploring your masculinity. Repeat after me. Yo.
Yo.
Hot damn.
Hot damn.
What a fabulous window treatment.
What a fabulous
That was your trick.
As a director, I love to see my actors shine, and I think I just love it when something comes to life, when something cooks, when something bubbles. That's what I love.
But I am not gay. What was Streisand's 8th album? Color Me Barbara. Scud. Everyone knows that.
Everyone where? The little gay bar on the prairie? You know what you need?
I need a wedding.
Tom and Kevin were great with the Kiss. It's funny, that Kiss became such a big deal, and it wasn't that Tom and Kevin, they just tried to do the best job they could as actors. It's terrific. We had a great time doing it. I had them do it a lot of times.
Frank Oz has the comedic intuition of a performer, combined with the ability to translate his vision to the screen. He has taken his unsuspecting audiences on journeys through galaxies of fantasy and suburbs of reality. He has accomplished a director's three greatest challenges: making the audience care about his characters, making them laugh, and making them pay.
They're not here listening to your answer.
No, he was directing my head. I was this way, so I thought I'd go that way. And I was being funny because if I went this way really far, I thought I'd get some humor out of going this way real far. But neither was particularly funny, so I'll just stop.
Frank Oz.
Thank you.
Gee, I first want to thank Johnny and Alice Faye and Steve Martin for being here, and I'm amazed that I'm here being honored on the same night that the great and brilliant Jerry Lewis is being honored. And I, of course, want to thank George Schlatter and the American Comedy Awards for this honor. I lead 3 distinct lives. I feel I do. Wonderful lives. One is with the Muppets, the Jim Henson Company. David Laser, Jerry Jewell, Don Sahlin, also some of my fellow Muppet performers who do all the great characters, and you don't know these people. Richard Hunt, Jerry Nelson, Dave Goles, Steve Whitmire, Kevin Clash, Bill Beretta. Also, the actual workshop people and the writers, and of course, especially the Henson family. And then there's Jim Henson. And without Jim, who gave me all the opportunities and support, I could never have lived this wonderful life. It was working with Jim and learning from Jim also that helped me make the transition into my second life, which is directing movies. And I love directing movies. And I want to thank just a few people who've helped me in this life. David O'Connor, Michael Wimmer, Joel Baer, Bernie Williams. I thank them, but you might notice that I have not thanked the actors. And that is because without me, they are not funny. Now, let's just go down the list and see some of the actors. Steve Martin, without me, not funny. Bill Murray, without me, not funny. Goldie Hawn, Kevin Kline, proven not funny without me. Bob Newhart, obviously not funny without me. Johnny's still hanging around, hoping that my funny will rub off on him. But neither of these lives, which I love so much, would mean as much to me if it wasn't for my third life. And that is a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. And I want to thank my mom and dad for bringing us to the United States and letting a skinny 19-year-old kid go to New York and work with a little weird group called the Muppets. I want to thank Ron and Sasa and Jenny and my fantastic children, Cody, Cooper, Woody, and Hadley. And lastly, the person I could not live without in any life, my wonderful and amazing wife, Robin. Thank you for this honor. This award enriches the lives I live and inspires me to explore new lives. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jenna Elfman.